So this week, a video hit social media that sent Alabama Twitter in a frenzy. A video that featured Bama spring practices and what looked to be ones versus ones, where Jalen Milroe made a beautiful throw to Ja'Cory Brooks. And while that was impressive, there was something else in the video I noticed that we have got to talk about. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited about the spring practices for Alabama? And let me know the position you're most interested in. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below, as those interactions are massive. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And though we are absolutely going to talk about the quarterback competition that Alabama is currently experiencing, this is something I'm going to wait a little bit, because I don't expect Nick Saban to name a starter anytime soon, and I have been in the camp, and I have been very forthright that I am in the camp. Both of these guys are extremely talented, in Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. I know a lot of people want to discount Jalen Milroe, but one thing I've always said, whenever you go back and watch the scripted plays, he was very, very good. I just don't think that the offense called was one conducive for success for someone like Jalen Milroe. I think the offense called during that A&M game was largely Bryce Young's offense. Bryce Young was asked to do a lot for this Crimson Tide team, and that's a big reason why when Nick Saban hit the podium, he said, we want more balance. We don't want our quarterback having to do everything, because the Crimson Tide put a lot on Bryce Young's shoulders, and I didn't think that was conducive to success for any quarterback on that roster not named Bryce. So I'm of the mindset that both Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson are extremely talented and have a home in Tommy Rees's offense. That's not what we're here to talk about today, though that throw was beautiful. We're here to talk about something else that was featured in that video, because the observant eye would have noticed something if, in theory, it was truly ones versus ones, which it absolutely looks to be the case. You had Ja'Cory Brooks going heads up against Kool-Aid McKinstry, who was all over him, but a beautiful throw and a beautiful catch. But something that stood out to me in that video was who was starting at safety, where number 2 came down to cover someone else, and that is true freshman Caleb Downs, someone who, if you've been around the channel, I've been screaming from the top of whatever building I could find. This guy, I believe, was at least a top 5 player in all of high school football, and I thought he had a real claim to be the number 1 player in all of high school football. I truly believe he's that good. I think he's that good in the run game. I think he's that good in the pass game, and I think his football IQ is super high, and it's already showing to be the case. He just got to campus and already is running with the ones. Now, will he for sure be the starter? Bama is competition through and through, and that competition is not going to stop. That's one of the reasons Bama has become so great. Iron sharpens iron. That's not going to stop now, but the fact that as a true freshman, this early on, he has come in when he should still be in high school. He should still be in his physics class in high school right now. He's running with the ones for Alabama. This is a guy I have a ton of excitement for. I cannot wait to see what ends up happening, because I just think he is going to be such a big piece for this team. But one thing, if you're an Alabama fan, you need to be very excited about, per reports, the entirety of this freshman class is coming in and really impressing. James Smith, another individual who's apparently turning some heads. And one thing we talked about consistently during the recruiting cycle for the class of 2023, that interior defensive line was about as must-get of a position for Alabama recruiting as I've seen in quite some time. And specifically, James Smith was a must-land prospect for the Crimson Tide, especially being the fact that he's a 5-star defensive lineman, the number 1 defensive lineman in your own state. You can't afford to lose that battle. You're not going to win every battle in your state. Recruiting has become far too national for that to be the case. You just can't lose the battles you can't afford to lose. And Alabama could not afford to lose James Smith. Even though they got some great D linemen outside of him, James Smith is someone who's already reportedly turning heads, and he could be a huge piece of the rotation for that Alabama defensive line. A defensive line I'm actually really excited about. We did a video on it. I'll link it down in the description if you haven't checked it out, talking about why Justin Boygby's health is going to be so big. I think whenever you pair a Boygby plus an Otis, you already have a recipe I'm really interested in, but I'm also interested in who's going to step out outside of those two names. Ton of talent, but who's going to be the guy? In any case, the good news is this. First and foremost, if we take that clip, Jalen Milroe is making some beautiful throws, and if that can continue, this quarterback competition is going to make both of these guys much better, and I'm here for that. Secondly, If Caleb Downs is in fact the starting safety, the question then becomes who's going to start next to him. And there are several guys I think could absolutely get that spot locked down, including Christian Story. Really excited to see what the spring practices provide him, and especially what A-Day looks like. But this just underscores one thing for me. I am so excited for A-Day. I'm so excited to get our first glimpse of what this team could look like. This is a team that's going to be replacing a lot of talent, but luckily, there's a lot of talent to go around, and I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.